the wickedness from amongst us. We can accept it or we can reject it. Now, my motivator is, because I've been knowing this for a while, but because people seem to delight and wallow in the misery, in the self-pity, in the entitlement, and the capitalizing on the misuse of the labor and the works of others. Because of this, I wouldn't say nothing. But then my mama told me that I needed to have a child, and I ran into a young lady who wanted to have a child that broke every word she gave me, and then she expected me to honor it. My word to her. I never broke my word to her. She broke the contracts between us. When she did that, I was no longer obligated. But I'm looking at my son, right? Pay attention. And I'm asking myself, when my son become a man, my son is becoming a man, and he said, Dad, the world messed up out there. Do you know why? Yeah, I know why. You mean you actually know the problem? I said, yeah. He said, well, how do you fix it? And then I give him the answer. He said, wait a minute, Dad. Now, you knew what the problem was. You knew what the solution was, and you didn't do nothing? No. How can I explain that to him? How can I tell my son that I left the world's problem that I knew how to fix for him to fix? Now I got a dilemma. Now I got a dilemma. What do I do from here? I know I'm looking at a march towards the destruction of me. I'm watching people coming against me, but they don't know I'm watching them. They don't know that I'm seeing the slide looks and the snotty looks and the fake friend gestures that they give me, because I don't hold them responsible for what these animals has done to us as humans. I hold them responsible for when I have shown them personally and in person the issue clearly and concisely, and they still ride with the enemy. That means that they are unrighteous by nature, because when righteousness comes, unrighteousness perishes. All right? So, what do? I mean, I can call them all, and we can get unruly. I'd rather not. I'd rather not get unruly, because we would be contributing to the blood rights that's keeping these animals in power by us killing each other. One of my pet peeves is wounded warriors. There's no way, if you study history, when warriors came back from war, they were what they call duly compensated. That means they was given their just due. So what happened over here? They give them some pennies. You don't do that to your warriors. And that's why the mother should tell their children to come home, because if her children are fighting in the name of what they believe to be righteous, they are deceived. There's nothing righteous about any wars on this planet. Nothing righteous about them, because they're all driven by a population quelling agenda and a genocidal agenda of the human family, so that some imposters can claim the entire planet for themselves. Not on my watch. So I have to speak up. I have to speak up because I have children. I have grandchildren one day if I live long enough. I have to say something that resonates so deep with the people that they understand. We don't have to live like animals. We are human beings. There's no big I's or big U's in this scenario. Our most impactful and our greatest position of power is in the unity of the human family. Now, they gave us a blueprint in Sumer to take over an entire planet. They gave us a blueprint in Sumer to take over an entire planet. And this is why they wanted to violate the gender contract and promote what they call the gay agenda. That's fine. I have no problem with a person's sexuality, his religion, his social position, and his social standing. I have no problem with his gang affiliation, with his tribal affiliation. None of that stuff bothers. The only thing bothers me is the wickedness. That's the only thing I care about getting rid of, is the wickedness. So here we go. What are we going to do as a human family? Are we going to come together on our own accord and stand in unison against this beast? I go get him, but I'm not going to go get him if y'all want to wallow in the misery. The system can stay in place, and you can continue to suffer. But we don't have to suffer no more. We have to treat workers with dignity and respect. I look at these corporations, and they suck all of the money from the life of the worker. And I watch the worker work so hard, and they have to get overtime because they can't got to make enough to pay the bills. That's insanity. Your labor, when you sell your labor, because that's what you do when you go to work, they don't even tell you how to calculate how much you should be making hourly because it's based off a calorie burn. It's based off a calorie burn in fractional reserve labor practice, which is very similar to fractional reserve banking, where they only give you a tiny % of what you actually generate from your labor in the burning of your calories. So your conservation of energy, you have leaks everywhere. If you patch the pipe up, if you could learn how to conserve your energy, everybody can live a very, 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 there won't be no poverty on earth. It's enough sustenance on earth to sustain the entire population. We allow these companies to dig into the earth without the proper rights of respect. And they build these mines and they extract these minerals out and don't compensate the people in the lines of demarcation. That has to stop. The easiest way for everybody to level the playing field is anything that you have to dig in the earth deeper than 3 feet, which gives the allotment for farmers to make their own stuff. Deeper than 3 feet, you have to first compensate the people in the lines of demarcation from where it comes from, because the earth is providing for those people. I'm going to give you an example. We're going to take the Saudi royal family. You got that royal family is split in 2 factions and they don't even know it. They got some that are kind and compassionate and want to help the people, but they restrained by the greedy and the selfish. So they strike oil in like 1913, and Saudi Arabia became the richest country overnight. One of the richest countries in the world overnight, and the only person they had to answer to was the Pope. Think about that. Now, they got enough oil, right? If they set a system up where people can work for a small period of their life, they can live their life in just as comfortable as the royal family. The royal family doesn't have to hoard the wealth. So what they're going to have to do is, those who believe in hoarding wealth, their own family going to have to get rid of them. Their own family going to have to get rid of them if you want to get rid of the evil. It's not the fault of the people. The people in Iran ain't bad people. But the bad people in Iran makes Iran look bad. The people of Syria are not bad people. But the bad people in Syria make Syria look bad. Everybody in America not bad people. But the bad people in America make America look bad. This is every country. Equally. The same oppressor, the same subjugation, and the same bringing it all to an end. I remember one time I heard somebody look at me and say, "Hey, are you born on the 4th of July?" Threw me for a loop. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I can tell you this. First chance I get, UAW, auto workers, I have the first claim of right to adjust your contract in favor of the worker. Ford, Chrysler, and GM. This need to be open in public because of the lies, deceit, and treachery. They need to stop doing this stuff in back doors. You need to have all your contract negotiations out front and in the open, because that takes the element of corruption out. You can't lie to the people while they're seeing what you're doing. Now, I refuse to participate any longer in the tyranny. I haven't been to work in months. I haven't paid a bill in months. And I haven't seen my son in a couple months. as a result, because they have women who think that the child should be used as a paycheck. Before I let my child be used as a poker chip, I will literally starve to death. I will starve until I don't have nothing left to eat ever again in life, until the last micro cell of my body is dissolved. I will not allow anybody to use my children as poker chips for their own economic gain, because they can lay on their lazy asses. I'm not going to participate. And just like I'm telling y'all with this war stuff, they want us to kill each other and turn on each other like wild animals. Don't participate. Mothers, tell your sons to come home, and your daughters. If they wear a uniform, no matter what they rank, tell them to come home. All you generals in the militaries around the world, when them rogues come telling y'all to go blow something up, don't do it. It's not necessary. If it was necessary, I wouldn't even say nothing about it. All this, they want us to kill each other so they can stay in power. We shouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I don't agree with it. Now, mind you, I might advocate peace, but I'm not peaceful. I advocate peace because it's in the interest of the people, and the most people can benefit the most from peace. I'm for just what's right. Just do what's right. Follow the laws of Mott. Don't get caught up in the slant that they put on your information. See, now times have changed, and we have an opportunity to place ourselves as one human family in unity across all borders and barriers. We can do that, or we can continue to walk this path of self-destruction. I remember KRS-One assembled a lot of New York artists, and they made a song called Self-Destruction. And it made so much sense to me, and made me want to be a hip-hop artist. Then, years later, a couple years later, here come, I don't know who was the initiator, but the West Coast Rap All-Stars, they dropped a song called We All in the Same Gang. And y'all didn't even realize we all in the same gang for real. It's us against the tyranny. It's not us against each other. It's not for us to kill each other like wild animals. That's not for us. That's not what we're here for. The wild animals can do that. Let the lions kill the zebras out in the bush. But in the human family, we didn't operate this way. We walked in love, harmony, and peace with each other until invaders came. Now, I done been here a long time, and I done took on many forms, as you see. That's when they named it Africa. This Dr. John Henry Clark. Yep. Yeah. Now, they say that and go to it, and I'm going to keep talking. So when they talk Pan-Africanism, Pan mean global. Africanism mean divided. The science of the divided peoples of the world is really what Pan-Africanism mean. Pan mean global. African mean divided. It's the global divided people, right? So this is why we end up having the Bang Dong conference with Sukarno and Mao Zedong and them, because now they sending information about how they are overcoming the oppressor in different lands around the world by studying their rebels and their revolutionary actors. This is Leon Trotsky. All right. This guy was associate of CLR James, and he was one of the preeminent philosophers for the Bolshevik Revolution under Lenin. But when Stalin came to power, he put a hit on him by order of some unsavory characters. They killed him in Mexico. Mm-hmm. This guy. Now, he got another book. Now, this is just some of his writings. It's a yellow book that say African World Revolution on it. I mean, say black, that right there. Black nationalism. Right. Now, notice they got Malcolm on the cover.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Leon Trotsky, he was murdered by the time the world knew who Malcolm X was.
I ain't never read it though, but I got it.
But the information in here, the information in this book is almost a step-by-step blueprint for what we call the Black liberation movement of the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, Leon Trotsky was being tutored by C.L.R. James before he ever came to America.
Go ahead.
Right? So they studied our problem, and this is what they wrote. Right? So
Right.
all of this is bringing a culmination to the from a chief to the other chiefs on the land to show them how all of this stuff is in synchronicity. C.L.R. James here writes on the Negro question. The first of all, what in the hell is the Negro question?
Right.
Right? Negro, when you go back to Chief Warhorse, she say that's when the Spanish was trying to conquer us. The Spanish called the natives Negro. Right? So when the English came, they just translated Negro. What they come up with, Elder? The Spanish said it's clearly Negro.
Yeah. Negrito.
Right. Right. So it's the Italian drawl specifically that allows it to be pronounced in that way. Now, this is the designation of the natives to the land before the Trail of Tears. Negro, and then the English came later and called them black.
Color. Negro color.
Now, these was also what we call terms of usurpation. They use Negro, black, and color to alternately identify us and replace us with the hostages and slaves they brought with them. So what Big Mama gonna do, Elder?
Man, Big Mama gonna shut this operation down, man. This popcorn stand, this whatever it's called, this circus ring. You know what it is though? Like Autumn Ray told me, this is a circus, and there's a whole bunch of clowns. These clowns, these killer clowns, man. I'm telling you, it's the killer clowns.
That's Boaz, Red House. Let's get hypey up in here. San Francisco Bay.
That piece with that dude last name, you don't know how much you just gave me with that, man. How you connect the black Hebrews to these Russians, these Slavics. They were the real Slavics and tried to replace us. See, these dirty Moors, they were the real some of these dirty ones, they were the real ones. They were taking their slaves, and they the ones that tried to replace us as the slaves, because we couldn't be real Moors, couldn't be really Slavics. So these Russian dirty jokers, I got pictures of them, man. I'm telling you, I got these. So you just made a connection.
You in order to iron what you're saying out, you gotta read David Walker's Appeal, because it's gonna patch your blind spot you seeing right now.
Okay.
You can pull it up and show them what the cover look like. David Walker's Appeal.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, I'm definitely I think I got some on that David Walker thing, because I heard Taj Tariq Bey or somebody say something on that.
I didn't mention it to you before.
Yeah, it probably been you to said it. Somebody said it to me. Okay, let me save it. I got it. Yeah, I definitely got to get this book, Rod. Oh yeah, this will be the next joint I get right here. It's got to be a critical piece, because there's this one book called "A North from Negroes to Color," the North Carolina thing about that dude. I got that book too. That book got a whole bunch of stuff in it, stuff that you're talking about these last names, these guys that had these Russian sounding last names, and how they be chiefs on the land with this type of last name. They become chiefs on the land all of a sudden.
Yeah, the thing that took me for the loop is when the president say we gonna declare him a chief, and then he go sign some treaties that don't serve our interests.
Wow.
He wasn't never a chief.
That's right.
There's no chief that's gonna sign any treaty that's not gonna benefit the most of the community. If it's gonna benefit a small few people, He's not gonna sign it. It's a law of equity involved in signing treaties.